Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to yet another episode of the Wisdom Save podcast. I'm Ken,
I'm Hannah.
and today we are starting up with another round of back and forth topics. I have a fun and a little bit more freeform topic for all of us today,
Alrighty.
which I hinted about at the end of our last episode. I think I might have given away the game a little too much, but I'm going to kind of explain it.
I mean, maybe I still don't know what we're doing. Like it sounded like you were
Perfect.
debating, and you said we're not debating.
Oh no, we're not debating. No. One of the things that I hinted at was that like fans of like a variety of different fun fandoms, especially of like certain like anime or like popular live action, like high fantasy science fiction shows or series. This is gonna kind of be like an interesting podcast for them.
Okay.
Have you ever been like sitting around, maybe hanging out with a bunch of friends, and like somebody like brings up something, they're like, oh yeah, like this character, like they're like that character is like the coolest, like oh yeah, this person's like they can use fire, like they can control fire, they're like the best fire user. And you're
Mm-hmm.
like, well actually I was watching this other show and like this other guy can control fire. I'm like, I don't know, he's pretty cool too. We're like, oh well, like I don't know, there's this one person who like I bet could kick their ass.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, like like the age old like who would win in a fight, Goku versus Superman,
Right.
like the age old thing. That's kind of what we're doing today.
Okay.
I figured it'd be fun to kind of like do a more free form, like open ended topic. I have prepared for us a number of like theoretical topics and
Okay.
hypotheticals. Some like hypothetical questions, and I want to see like based on the fandoms that I am like big into, and like well it's really that we are into.
Okay.
I specifically picked from things that like I know you have watched also.
Okay.
um
So I was just gonna say you're gonna pick characters I don't know, and then
no, like I left magic out of it. Like I'm not gonna do that to you because that's not fun. You're not gonna like, you're gonna be like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Right.
So I'm not gonna pick them. I want it to be kind of like a back and forth. We can talk about like what we think is the answer. I have opinions,
Okay.
but some of them
I'm
not
sure I
super.
have opinions
Oh
too.
yeah, I bet you do. But I'm not super strong on them. And
All of my opinions are strong.
all of your opinions are very strong. That's like one of my favorite personality traits about you, actually. So this is basically going to be like a snapshot for the viewers as well into what kinds of things we like, a bunch of the fandoms that we enjoy, and if like any characters come up and you're like, oh, you watched that show, you should do an episode about this. We'd love to hear your comments about it.
Or if you have opinions on the matches, like the matchups, and we like
Yeah.
aren't fighting valiantly for someone you think is
Sure.
better.
Or
then...
if you're like, you guys are both wrong, your opinions are dumb, here's actually this one, let us know. To be fair, not all of them are matchups. I actually only have a few.
Okay.
I have it kind of split up into three categories.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna decide like who did it better, and that's like
Okay.
matchups. Like there's a topic, and then we decide which person is better, who fits that thing better. We've got who's most likely.
Okay.
And that's where I pick like a hypothetical, kind of weird, maybe kind of silly situation.
Okay.
And you tell me which fictional character you think is like the most likely to do that thing or be in that situation.
I have a drinking game like that.
Oh, really? See, I kind of like base this off of like this could be a fun drinking game or something like that. And then the last one is who's your favorite? I'm gonna pick a topic of like a broad general topic, and then you go to bat for the person who fits that topic or the character that fits that topic that you think
Is the best.
is the best, or like the reasons why you think that multiple things might be the best. You can go back and forth.
All right.
I picked two for a lot of them.
Okay.
So sure, we'll start with who did it better. So I'm very curious to hear your opinions on this one.
Okay.
Because we, with it coming to Netflix, Avatar has been on the collective conscious.
Avatar.
Yeah. Oh, we're starting with Avatar. We're batting strong. With Avatar coming to Netflix and now Legend of Korra, I think it's actually out on Netflix. It will be by the time this podcast is up, but definitely now, like it's like early August.
Okay.
So, with Avatar being back on everyone's collective conscience, I'm sure there's going to be lots of debates about the characters of Avatar that age-old debate about whether Last Airbender or Korra is better, which drives me nuts.
Or which Avatar is better, which is stupid.
Right. It is kind of stupid, isn't it?
Is that what we're doing?
Exactly.
Oh my god.
So, I want to hear your opinions on this. Which of the two avatars that we had followed as main characters in both Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, which of the two avatars, Aang or Korra, do you think is the better avatar?
Can I pick the secret third option?
Well, there isn't a third option.
There is a secret third option.
What is your secret third
They're
option?
both their own fucking people. Leave them alone.
Okay. That is actually that's a very valid third option.
I'll go with your game.
Oh. I may have. The premise of this question is flawed from the beginning. That is a super valid opinion.
That's the thing. That is my official stance on this argument. I'm playing a game. Don't worry. I'll play this game. But
well, let's take it from the perspective of like which one of them do you think don't worry, we're not worried about the character because they each have their own flaws and strengths. Yes. Which one was the better avatar? Which one fulfilled their role as the bridge between the human and the spirit world better?
See, that's...
Oh, and spoilers, by the way, for some of the shows, we're going to talk about things that we're caught up with. So if you haven't watched either Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra, pause the podcast. Go binge watch them. Please, they're so good. It will change you as a person.
See, that's complicated. Mm-hmm. If you describe the best avatar as the best bridge between the spirit world and
sure, Airbender, the best or in the material world or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, if you Korra made that irrelevant.
Interesting. What do you mean by that?
At the end of Legend of Korra, she opened the portals to the spirit world and made the two worlds accessible to each other.
Sure.
So she is no longer the bridge.
That is a fair point.
So is the best bridge no bridge? Or is the best bridge the bridge that did it well?
Well, what do you think?
I don't know if that's how we should be judging avatars.
Okay. So then maybe I was too loose in my interpretation. Let's think of it like the avatar's job is supposed to be to maintain balance between the spirit world and the physical world, but also between the four nations, between
the avatar's job cultures. Yeah. Is maintaining balance.
Yes, just flat. Okay.
So who did that better?
Who was better at maintaining balance? Yes. Korra. Why do you think Korra?
Because while she made mistakes, she always fixed them. So she wasn't good at keeping the scale perfect at all times. But it always would balance out.
Okay.
For most of Avatar,
yeah,
the world's out of balance. There's nothing anyone can really do about it.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, which is the whole point, but also and
that's what makes the story, I think.
Aang's refusal to take out the Fire Lord in the end, and potentially, he doesn't know what the fuck he's gonna do. He's like, I'll just come up with something, I guess, maybe. Mm-hmm. And if he dies, then we just wait for the next Avatar, or if he's in the Avatar state, then he dies, and then there's no more Avatar. Right. And it's he needed to, he's the protector of the entire world. I'm on Kyoshi's side with this.
Yeah. You would be on Kyoshi's side, though.
He needed to kill Ozai and end it so that he could make the world, sure, in the end, he did, fucking by dumb luck, fix it.
Sure.
But that is not a good Avatar plan.
Yeah.
And sure, I guess you could argue that Korra also did most of, what she was going to do through dumb luck. But at least it's, at least she kind of has a plan when she's going in. She's like, I don't know if it's going to work out, but I have a plan.
Sure.
We're going to fix it. I feel like it's just, as much as Korra did kind of tip the scales in both sides, kind of hard, and she really struggled, she struggled to try and do her best the entire time and, like, got shit done. Like, Aang was like, I don't know how I'm gonna beat the Fire Lord, head droop. And then he's like, I guess we'll just figure it out later.
Yeah.
Let's go watch a play.
And then a magic floating lion turtle showed up and was just like, I will fix your problem for you. And he's like, yay, problem solved. I didn't have to think too hard about it.
Like, don't get me wrong. Both of them are good avatars.
Absolutely.
I think the only avatar I know that's bad is Kuruk.
Yeah, Kuruk sucks.
Because he did nothing. He literally did nothing except for surf, and then his girlfriend got his face taken.
Surf, get drunk, like goof around, like
his girlfriend got her face stolen, and then he got his face stolen and died.
Yeah, I think that. I haven't read the Kyoshi novel.
Oh, I don't actually know if his face got stolen, but he is dead.
Yeah, I don't know one way or the other, but he definitely died.
He tried to hurt him
because Kyoshi happened, yes. So he definitely is dead.
But I feel like out of the two avatars, I think I like Korra better.
I am going to be roasted in the comments, and so are you for this, but I completely agree with you.
I know. No one else thinks... But that's the thing, too, is everybody watches Korra and wants Korra to be Aang.
Korra doesn't get measured by the merits of her own accomplishments because everything she does gets compared to Aang, and part of it is because everything that happens in the Legend of Korra gets compared to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, as a whole, they are two different stories that happen in two very different timelines and very different worlds. The four nations are at war with each other, and people are it's wartime scarcity and strife and like national conflict in Aang's time. In Korra's time, they have a big city, and for the most part, everybody on a national level gets along. There isn't global war anymore. Mm-hmm. It's a very different world to live in. It's a totally different ballgame.
Her problems were so much harder to fix.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They were maybe less significant to the globe.
No, they were definitely significant to the globe.
Well, Unalaq was, for sure.
I guess, trying to steal...
would have been.
I guess stealing all of the bending in the entire world isn't a global pandemic. But...
yeah, right.
It is. It's a big problem. If they got through with that in the city, they would have spread all over the world.
Oh, meaning like the Equalists? Yeah, you're right. I guess I just don't see the Equalists as that big of a threat because I feel like they...
first.
Right, because I feel like they were very localized. But yeah, like they could have gotten... But if they succeeded,
they would have continued until bending was just done, and then they would have been us.
You're right. But also, like Korra, Aang dealt with evil that was so blatantly evil. Like, Fire Lord Ozai and the nationalistic fascist Fire Nation were just bad, and everyone knew they were bad. The villains of Legend of Korra, they kind of got points sometimes, especially Amon and especially Zahir.
Yes.
They
half the time I was rooting for Zahir.
Honestly.
Except for the end where they tried to kill Korra, but it's like...
Yeah, right.
It's like, dude, down with the government.
Yeah, like he was like an enlightened anarchist, and it's like, dude, that's not me, but I get it. Like,
yeah, for sure. But that's the thing too, is everyone's like, oh well, if Korra just was like, if Aang had to deal with her problems, he would have just dealt with it. And it's like,
what do you think?
No, he would not have. You know what he wouldn't have done? He definitely wouldn't have actually killed them or anything like that. He would have tried to pussyfoot around the problem until he finally kind of maybe fixed it. Mm-hmm. I mean, sure, he probably would have eventually fixed it, but also he's, at least Aang when he was younger, he was just so naive half the time.
Plus, I feel like in general, Korra has, more confidence than Aang.
For sure.
Look at the Equalists as a threat. If Aang had gone up against the Equalists, if Amon made some valid points, Aang would have been the first one to be like, wow, maybe benders are bad. Maybe being the Avatar is a bad. Maybe I should, maybe we are oppressive. Maybe I am a bad guy.
I don't know about
Younger
that.
Aang might.
Younger Aang probably would have been like, no, bending is what keeps the world in balance. But he would have been like, maybe we should, try to work together. Maybe we can figure out a way to, make you feel better about it. And he would have been like, no. And then they just would have gotten into a giant fight. But it's It's exactly the same thing. Like, Korra just cut all the trying to make peace out of the equation and was like, no, there's nothing. Like, I get it. You have points, but you're trying to do something bad, so you're gone. Like, we're not doing this right now. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, maybe we can work with you. Like.
Right. No, I agree. So, yeah, so basically, Korra. Better Avatar. Yep. All right. I am ready to get
Don't come
roasted.
after me in the comments.
You can come after me in the comments. It's fine. I'll just cry.
That's the thing, is I will not.
Yeah, it's fine. If you want to make me cry,
I love Aang, and I love Korra, but
me too.
I think Kyoshi did a better job.
Yeah. The winner of this topic is Kyoshi. Okay, so this one, we'll see where this one goes. Next little topic of interest. Who wins in a straight-up bare-knuckle brawl?
Okay.
Goku or All Might?
Goku or All Might?
Yeah, who wins? Everyone says Goku versus Superman. What about Goku versus All Might? My Hero Academia fans out there.
Oh, God.
We don't care about Superman. Fuck that. We're weebs.
You know
Goku
what,
versus All Might. Who wins?
That's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I love All Might.
Yeah.
But I feel like Goku probably wins.
It's absolutely Goku. This one I won't budge on. Like, Goku, like, the whole thing about Goku is that, like, Goku has character flaws. Goku does not have ability flaws. Goku, if he can't beat something, he is like, well, that's dumb. Time to just get real stronger about it, and then he just magically pulls a new power up out of his ass and wins.
And he does it like 10 times.
Yeah, like every time there's a new threat, he's like, wow, that guy's way stronger than I was before. Time to just decide I'm stronger now. And then he just does. All Might has, like, he doesn't have a stomach. And he can only fight for like 3 minutes a day. He's maybe just as strong as Goku. Goku's not going to get down in 3 minutes.
Well, I was even thinking about, like, even in his prime All Might.
Yeah.
Like.
No, I think you're right too.
Well, I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh, well, All Might has all those, like, successors behind him that, like, tripled, quadrupled, like, sextupled his power.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe he could actually do it, but I'm like, I don't know, like All Might can't fly.
Yeah, All Might can't fly. Yeah.
I was like, he does lots of, like,
can't shoot energy blasts.
He does, like, lots of punches that are, like, really, really strong.
Yeah.
He could punch so strong he changes the weather, but, like, he can't make an earth-destroying beam.
Yeah.
Like,
he couldn't blow up the planet if he felt like it.
Right.
Goku can.
Yeah, like.
I think that's just it. Yeah. That's the thing, is that, like, I think this is really more a debate of, like, the bounded accuracy of abilities. Characters who are intended to be strong in Dragon Ball Z really don't have flaws. Characters in My Hero Academia have flaws.
Are realistic and have flaws.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing, too, is you think about it, like, All Might can punch so hard and so fast that he can, like, deteriorate something that regenerates. But also, like, Goku's an alien who, like, literally has died and come back, like, multiple times.
Yeah.
And, like.
You can't keep him down, yeah.
You just can't.
Yeah, you beat him to within an inch of his life, and then he just gets a new power up, and he's like, oh, I can fight without any of I have no energy left, but I'm actually stronger because of it somehow. Like, no, All Might, like, powers down, and he's just like, I'm a teacher. Like,
All Might would be the guy that would, like, punch so hard that he would, like, blow him up into the sky and change the weather, and he'd be like, he's gone, he's dead, I got him. And then Goku would, like, show up behind and be like, haha, fun!
Yeah. You're like, wow, you really got me. I flew past the sun, but I just poofed. Like, I can teleport, so I'm back here now. Can you do that again? Yeah. Like, man, you punch real hard. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's Goku. Sorry, All Might.
All Might probably wouldn't even be upset. They just end up being friends.
Yeah,
neither of them would kill each other.
Goku's not a threat. He'd be like, wow, okay, cool. Okay, so... third of 5 topics.
Okay.
This time we're going to dive into a little live action fandom.
No.
I know. It's like your least favorite thing, but bear with me on this one.
Okay.
Who is the more talented swordsman?
Okay.
Aragorn?
Uh-huh.
Or Jon Snow?
Aragorn or Jon Snow?
Yeah.
Wasn't Aragorn only... Oh, no. Never mind. I was thinking about the other guy. I was like, wasn't Aragorn only in the movie for 5 minutes because he was played by that one actor?
No. No, it was not Boromir.
Sorry, I am dyslexic.
That's okay.
I know it doesn't usually apply to people, but for me it
If
does.
you're spelling their names in your head, then absolutely.
Who's a better swordsman, Aragorn or Jon Snow?
Mm-hmm.
Aragorn.
Aragorn?
Yeah.
You know, like, the thing is, it's been so long since I have, like, watched, like, the extended cut Peter Jackson films, and longer since I've read the books, which I think I legally have to say because if my best friend found out that I've never read the Lord of the Rings trilogy of books, then she would actually manifest herself here and tear my head off. Yeah, I feel like I just feel like it would be Jon Snow. I feel like it'd be Jon Snow.
Okay.
No, like Aragorn. Like the thing is, like Aragorn like has like some supernatural powers, and he like has like a ghost army or whatever the fuck. But like this is a one-on-one fight. Like Aragorn by himself, no help, just him. Jon Snow by himself, no like
Jon Snow got killed by a little boy.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. He was caught off guard. If he had his sword, he would have been a whole different story.
Oh,
It would have been a whole different story.
Uh-huh.
They talk about like all the time about.
Didn't he have the sword?
Yeah, no, he didn't have it on him. Wait,
He didn't?
no,
I'm pretty sure he did.
He might have, but like he didn't have it unbelted. He wasn't expecting like an 8-year-old to walk up behind him and gut him. Like
you should always expect an 8-year-old to come up behind you and gut you.
I don't know if that's how I want to go through life, though.
Got to.
All right, well, I will
Especially
take
in that world.
I will take your word for it. If I see an 8-year-old, I'm kicking him.
Don't kick him. Just be afraid he's gonna gut you.
Well,
be prepared.
Okay.
Don't take action first. Just be prepared to be gutted.
Yeah. Well, then how was Jon Snow gonna like the guy came up with the kid came up with him with a knife? He was going to take action first. He was going to stab.
I said be prepared to be gutted.
Oh, so if he comes at you with a knife, then you can.
Like if you see an 8-year-old, don't just kick it. But if it comes after you with a knife, be prepared.
Okay, all right. I don't know. I'm just saying Jon Snow at this point because like I feel like I know more about him as a swordsman. Like so many characters in Game of Thrones are like, wow, he's like a really talented swordsman. In the novels, they're like, oh yeah, he's like a prodigious swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I don't know as much about him, so my gut tells me Jon Snow. Like I don't really have a good answer for this one. I think, but yeah. They're both good.
I think Jon Snow slides around too much on like his other merits.
That's fair. Yeah. Like everyone just thinks the actor is attractive. Yeah.
Even just the people in the world, they're like, yeah, he's cute. I mean, I guess we want to check him as well.
Well, yeah, that happens in the books too, for sure. I think so.
But Aragorn is just he's got his elf lady he's in love with, and otherwise he's a sword swinging, boot kicking badass. I mean, helmet kicking badass.
Helmet kicking yeah. Oh, poor Viggo Mortensen's toes.
Poor guy.
Yeah, that's a fun little behind the scenes story. Okay.
The guy that played Jon Snow ever break anything on set because he kicked a helmet or whatever?
Not that I know of, but I feel like I read something about somebody doing that. I don't know if it was him.
Aragorn for the win.
That's fair. All
Commitment.
Right, on those merits alone. Yeah, Viggo. The winner of this contest is Viggo Mortensen. For deflecting that knife and breaking his toe on a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Bless. Okay. So question number 4. This one is probably my favorite question of all of them.
Okay.
Doing another Dragon Ball Z versus My Hero Academia one. I felt like this is a good one.
Chi-Chi versus the nurse.
No, this isn't a fight one.
Okay.
Who is the better dad?
Who's the better dad?
Vegeta or Aizawa?
Ooh, Vegeta or Aizawa?
Mm-hmm.
Aizawa.
Aizawa? You say Aizawa?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, well, he's lazy and likes to sleep and stuff.
True.
Like, think about it. He takes care of Eri.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Within 5 minutes of him getting Eri, I heard that he bought her a sweater with a cat on it.
Yes,
and
that's true.
That
what a sweet man.
She didn't like it, but she still wore it once to make him happy.
Yeah.
And he was very dejected that she didn't like the sweater, and that's a very adorable parent-child moment.
Yes.
The only moment I can really recall that Vegeta is a good father, at least with his first child, is when he's literally about to die, so he tells his son to, like, buck up and, like, take care of his mom because he's about to go.
Yeah.
Eat it.
And the thing is, like, that's a huge turning point for Vegeta as a character.
I'm
but,
not saying I don't like the moment.
Sure. No, I'm not saying that.
And I'm not saying he doesn't care about his family, because he obviously does.
Sure.
But
Aizawa just has, like, the dad instinct.
Yeah, Aizawa's just like, if you give him a child, while he may not fawn over it, like, excited, like Jiro's dad or whatever, like, he's like, oh, I care about you and I'm here for you, honey, like, that it's like, you can tell he cares about kids.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's so plain. Yeah. Like, while Vegeta is a very concerned parent about his daughter.
Yes, he is. That's very true.
Even, like, I think it was GT, which I think people like to pretend isn't canon because it was bad.
Yeah, me. GT's bad. It exists. It's also bad.
Yes. He, like, spoils her rotten.
Yeah.
And he,
driving around in a sports car with, like, 6 bags of shit from the mall.
She says she hates his mustache, so he shaves it.
Which, like, thank God.
Yeah, thank you. The one good thing that girl did.
Rough.
Like, even in the most recent iteration of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, Super.
Yeah. Like, he pretends he's not excited for her to be born, but then she's born, and he's, like, afraid to let Trunks hold her because he'll hold her wrong. Yeah. And he, like, is, like, he has her, like, 24/7, and he, like, obviously loves her. It's, like, it took him neglecting one really hard to get there.
Yeah. He's pretty hyper protective of, like, the future Trunks.
Yeah. But I think that was because he realized that in his future, everyone fucking dies.
That's also
so he's like, yeah, I feel that my whole family died, so, like, I guess I'll, like, ignoring you.
I never really looked at it from that point. Okay.
But Aizawa he is handed a child, and he's already there for her.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
He's like, I'll buy you whatever you want, and also, here's a sweater. Oh, you hate it? Oh, God,
no. I'm gonna go hide in my sleeping bag.
And, like, he tried really hard to, like, get her to go to the, get her permission to go to the festival. And, like, even when she's in Mirio's care, he's always, like, a step away. Like, the guy is good with kids.
I agree.
Well, it may not look that way up front 24/7. You can tell. Like, he's good with kids.
Yeah. I mean, I'm being coy, but I 100% agree with you. Like, Aizawa's, like, clearly that, like, Vegeta had to work so hard to get to that point. Aizawa just naturally is. Just, like, he's team dad. He just always will be. That's just in his nature.
Not to say they're not both good fathers.
Right.
Vegeta is just not there all the time.
Goku. Bad father.
Bad father.
Very bad father.
Piccolo, good father.
Great father. Maybe I should have done Piccolo in that one. Oh well, it's too late now. But
you should have, because Piccolo was the adoptive father, so it's.
That's true. Nah, you're right. That would have been a better one. That would have been a harder fought battle. I don't know. I think I just like Vegeta, but yeah, Aizawa clearly wins.
I also like Vegeta, but Aizawa Piccolo, that's a hard sell. Except I guess Aizawa. I mean, he did ditch some kids. Like, I was about to say, like, Piccolo ditched Gohan in the middle of the desert, but he was always kind of watching from afar.
He was watching from afar, but he also, like, was like, I'm just going to let this 6-year-old deal with this T-Rex. Like, that's fine.
Aizawa didn't ditch kids until they were in their teens.
Right.
But he ditched way more.
But that, like, I mean, when you, like...
But they
Piccolo was responsible for one kid. And he ditched that kid for a bit and, like, just kind of stayed really far away and was like, yeah, I'm going to let you fend for yourself. But I'm watching, but fend for yourself. Aizawa ditched more kids.
That had superpowers.
But they have, well, so did Gohan. But, like, he's also responsible for a minimum of 20 kids at any given time.
Right.
So, like, Piccolo had one and sometimes flubbed it. Aizawa had 20 and flubbed a few, but, like, he had 20.
Yeah.
So, like...
I say success rate is in Aizawa's favor.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Last but not least, this one is, since we're a podcast, we might as well dip our toes into the podcast world.
Okay.
Who's the best McElroy boy?
Oh, no! That's hard.
I have a clear answer. I know who my favorite.
The thing was, I know who the best one is. I think my favorite one is a tie.
McElroy's, if you're listening to our podcast, we love you so much. You're not, but if you are, like, we love you so much.
The thing is, too, is even my least favorite McElroy brother is still a really awesome McElroy brother.
Agreed.
So it's like...
Now, I said McElroy boys. Clint is included.
Oh, shit!
Yeah. That makes it harder, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Clint's a good man.
Man, he is a really good guy.
It's just 4 wholesome boys. It's just a whole family of boys. It's a boy family.
It's family boys.
It's a beautiful boy family.
My answer is I have a tie for my favorite.
Yeah.
But I know which one is the best.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I want to know what you mean by that.
Tie for favorite is between Travis and Griffin.
I respect that.
Because
it's a solid call.
I love them both so much.
Yes.
I love all of them, but I love them so much.
Yes, agreed.
The best McElroy boy is Griffin.
It's Griffin.
It's Griffin.
He's fucking hilarious.
He put amiibos in his mouth.
He did. That was like a whole thing.
He was playing...
He's a riot. He's like the
What did
doofy...
he play? That one about all the radiation and the blue suit guy with the blonde hair... video game.
Fallout?
Fallout. He's playing
4.
He played Fallout with Justin, and he spawned a bunch of roaches, and he killed one, and he carried it through the entire broken game, named it Roachy, and then lost it eventually after, like, proposing to the roach, and then spawned so many other roaches so he could find Roachy, and then never did.
He's just a barrel of laughs and sunshine, that
just
boy.
Nuts.
Yeah,
like, I love that kid.
He's so goofy. See, I agree with you. In the sense that I think that it's a tie for me between Travis and Griffin.
Okay.
I think I like Travis more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See, it's a...
Travis, Travis is just, like, he's, like, the, like, poster child of non-toxic masculinity, and goddamn do I need some of that in my life.
All of
like,
them
he's a character. Yeah, like, the other thing is, like, I love Griffin. I laugh at him the most. I find him the funniest. I find Justin to be the wittiest. And I mean, just like it's hard. Like you don't have to have a reason to like Clint. Clint's just good. But just like I feel like Travis, like his persona, I'm very drawn to him as a character and person. Both like his persona on the podcast and like who he is as a person, like in real life on Twitter and shit like that. Because I don't know. He's like non-toxic masculinity personified, and he's just like be what you want and do your own thing and like express yourself how you want to. And I'm like, hell yeah, man.
See, that's such a hard question, and that's why it's a tie between Travis and Griffin.
Yeah,
is because I love the way Travis does his hair, and he paints his nails, and he's like...
He has purple hair, and I'm always just like, what if I did that?
And he's so funny.
Or he had purple hair. I don't know if he still does, but...
It's always different colors, I think, but mostly purple.
Yeah.
And, like, it's a tie just because Griffin is, like, so fucking hilarious.
He really is just that funny.
But, like...
If it wasn't for the fact that I'm so heavily invested in Critical Role right now, they started up a new campaign, and Travis is the DM, and goddamn, I want to see that. I have to just like binge Adventure Zone next year when I catch up with Critical Role. Oh, fuck.
See, that's the thing too, is when I watched Adventure Zone, I'd never seen their faces.
Yeah.
And like I just was listening. Magnus was by far my favorite.
Yeah.
Like I could tell that Griffin was awesome, and Taco was like fucking amazing and so funny.
Yeah.
And like, but I loved Magnus because of his story arc.
Right.
And
which I haven't been exposed to at all.
Yes, so I'm not going to be doing this with spoilers.
Thank you. Yeah, no spoilers for me. Only spoilers for you guys.
But then I watched God, we watched it on a different site, but I don't know where it is now. It was the My Brother and Me like show.
Oh yeah, I think that was on like Verve or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like through it was Verve because it wouldn't be through Crunchyroll.
No, it was Verve.
Yeah.
And
their
my
TV
God,
show,
it was so fucking hilarious.
Yeah. When Griffin like took that he lost the high school boy in the clown box in the woods. What the fuck was that?
Travis and Justin both had a group of kids they were supposed to be focusing on.
Yeah.
And
Griffin had
one boy named Griffin, and he lost him in the woods to a clown box, and then ran through the forest going, I lost my boy!
Like, that's the thing is, like, I'm sure each of them, like, had a bit. And, like, Justin and Travis's bits were, like, simple, straightforward. And Griffin's was like, what if I kidnapped this high school kid, brought him into the woods, and then a clown ate him?
Yeah.
That's my thing. And the rest of them were like, we're gonna, like, talk about,
Well,
like...
Justin
cool,
had
like,
a huge group of kids,
yeah.
and he was trying to teach them about, like, why he was cool or something
Yeah,
like
or
that.
some shit like that, yeah.
And
Travis was like,
Travis
trying
had,
to
like,
teach them to be
3
in touch with
kids,
themselves.
and he was
yeah.
trying to teach them how to get, like, how to be, like, proud of themselves and learn new skills and, like, be
Yeah.
proud of themselves. And... which was, like, fucking hilarious, but also, like, really touching. And then
Yeah.
just Griffin was like, I lost him in the woods!
Yeah, Griffin's the goofball. Travis is, like, he's, like, the, like, learn to love yourself. Like, love the skin you're in kind of, like, wholesome guy. And Justin's just like, I'm the dad in this group.
And then they get together with their dad at the end of every podcast. Or at the end of every episode of that show. And... I can't remember what it was. He, like pretended to slip off the side of the pool. He's like, oh, hopefully I don't die. And he's like, oh, and they're just like, no.
That was so good.
They're all good.
Yep. I respect that. That's a good call. Okay. So those are my 5 competitions. We're going to move on now to, you know what? We could do either of these. Which one do you think you want to do more? Do you want to do like I do a hypothetical situation, you decide which character is most likely to do it, or like who's your favorite of like a topic? I pick a topic and you pick who your favorite character is.
Do the hypothetical first.
Hypothetical ones? Okay, cool. That's what I have next anyway. So this one's who's more likely.
Okay. I
read you a hypothetical situation. You think of a character that you're like, okay, this character fits. You can pick multiple characters if you want, but just like someone who you think. And I haven't planned any of these out. These ones I was just like, I'm gonna like who comes to my head the most. I picked random questions. I wrote them down. I'm like, cool.
Okay.
That's it. So we're gonna like kind of be working on this one together. Who is most likely of all the fictional characters that you know? To spend their entire life savings on K-pop merch.
Oh, God.
Or more importantly, who is most likely to spend their life saving on K-pop merch, and why is it Mina Ashido from My Hero Academia?
She would not spend all...
she'd spend
Mina, sorry.
Mina, yeah, pink alien girl with the acid powers. Oh, yeah. Like, every goddamn cent she earns in her entire life is all, like, her whole wall-to-wall BTS shit. Everywhere.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no question.
Probably. I was literally...
Who else? Like,
you said spend your entire life savings, and I was about to be like, Goku. And then you're like, on K-pop.
Like rice.
And I was like, no.
Yeah. Then his life saving on meat.
God. Yeah, other than Mina, I couldn't think of anybody because, my God, except, like, I don't know, maybe like Steven Universe because he just buys stuff that, like, Little Steven. Because Little Steven just finds a thing he likes and then just, like, goes with it. This is cool, yeah. So, I don't know if he'd be into K-pop, but if he was, that'd be Steven.
You know what, though? Peridot.
Yes.
Peridot would absolutely spend, like, she would...
No, it wouldn't be K-pop merch. It would be Camp Pining Hearts merch.
It would be their version of, like, the big thing. But, yeah, no, definitely. I could see her in that situation. Okay, this next one's a little gross, but that's half the fun. Which fictional character that you can think of is most likely to keep a jar of their own nail clippings hidden in their closet?
Oh.
Don't ask me why I thought of this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a weird day.
Is gonna keep all their nail clippings in their closet?
Yeah, like they don't tell anybody about it, and they're like they don't want anybody to find out, but they're collecting them for like why? I don't know. I don't know why they need them. They have them.
Mineta probably.
I was also gonna say Mineta only because he's an insufferable, nasty troll boy. And, like, he probably, like, if it's something gross, I'm like, it's probably him, because he's just a weird fucking creepo.
This is gonna impress the girl one day. They're gonna see how many nails I can make, and they're gonna be, like, super into me. I saw someone trying to...
Fuck Mineta.
I saw someone trying to defend him today.
No, he's
trash. They're like, people just don't like him because of the way he looks, and I was like, no, nobody likes him because he's a gross, insufferable pervert child.
Yeah, he's like a nasty, disgusting boy.
People are like, oh, well, I mean, like, you can't just blame him because he doesn't know when it's, like, no one taught him when is a good time to stop. And I'm like, no, there is a point that
plenty of people have repeatedly taught him that now is a good time to stop. He just doesn't stop.
Yeah, plenty of people told him it's not a good time to start, and he just does anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's called being a predator.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Mineta. It's 100% Mineta.
I couldn't think of anyone else creepy enough to do that.
Yeah, it's got to be Mineta. Okay, next. This one is about fictional couples.
Okay.
And this can include characters who aren't yet couples, but you want to be a couple. We can ship in this one because it'll be funny.
My category.
Yeah. Which couple is most likely to fight over whether or not they'll get a cat?
Which couples?
Like, this means, like, there are definitely two camps. One person is like, we need to get a cat. And the other person is like, there's no fucking way we're getting a cat. Like, it has to be like they have to fight over it.
I want to say Goku and Chi-Chi just because they would fight over literally anything.
Well, yeah, like, that's true. But, like, I feel like the thing is, I think in that situation,
I feel like Goku would just try to bring home a cat, and Chi-Chi would be like, no! And he'd be like, well, why not? I want the cat. It's cute. And also, like, it doesn't have a different place to be. And she'd be like, no cats, no fun in this house, no fun in this house. And she'd be like, he'd be like, oh, but it's adorable. And she'd be like, no cats!
They kind of already did that with a dragon. So, like, yeah, I could see, yeah, Icarus. Well, that was Gohan. Gohan was like, I met this dragon. And she's like, no! And he's like, I don't care because I have superpowers, so I'm just going to keep the dragon. Like, he'll just fly outside the house, and if you try to stop him, I'll fly away because I'm like a superhuman boy. Yeah. I know this one's just a ship, so it's not really a couple, but definitely Bakugo and Kirishima.
I thought about that very briefly too, but I also think that eventually, I mean, I guess that wasn't really the question, but eventually, I feel like Kirishima would convince Bakugo to keep the cat, and then
Kirishima would just bring the cat home, and Bakugo would be like, "That's stupid. I don't want what's in the house." And then eventually, like 3 days later, it'd be like
he'd
cuddling.
be with the cat.
Yeah, and he'd just be like, "He's like, don't talk to me."
No, I hate this thing. Why is it on me?
Yeah, this thing's stupid. And like one day he's like one day like the cat's like running around and like a mouse run by and like jumps on it, just fucking rips it apart, and Bakugo's like, "That's hardcore."
My man.
Yeah, he's like, "All right, that cat's cool. He's earned my respect."
Another one I could potentially think of, which they aren't a couple, but potentially could be, and it was implied in the show that one of them wants to be a couple, is potentially Aizawa and Miss Joke.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like she'd be the kind of person that would want a cat,
yeah.
But if she was like allergic or like didn't want one for any particular reason, he'd be like, "We're getting a cat," and she'd be like, "No," and he'd be like, "I'll break up with you."
yeah, oh, absolutely.
I don't care if you are going to be puffy faced and potentially die because of the cat. If you don't want a cat, we are done.
Yeah, this is my, like, the cat is make or break. This is my cat.
Yeah.
I
don't know if they'd actually get in that fight because I feel like she would probably like cats, but.
Right. But if that were the case, I could see it. Which fictional character is most likely to start a podcast?
Which character is most likely to start a podcast?
Who do you think is most likely to start a podcast? Steven fucking Universe. Absolutely. He's already started a podcast. There's no way that man doesn't have a podcast.
I don't know if he has a podcast, but he
has a YouTube channel.
He has a YouTube channel.
Cooking with Steve.
Not even just that. He like does like
unboxing videos.
And
those like, shorts are cute. Go check them out on YouTube. I highly recommend it.
Music tutorials. Yeah. And he like runs like school commercials and like that kid would have a podcast.
No question. Who would do like? I feel like there's got to be like a really weird. Like, do you think there's like an obscure podcast that someone could do?
Like who?
Like, do you think like Midoriya running like an All Might fan podcast?
Well, see, the thing is that went across my mind, and that's the thing is I know we're stuck in Steven Universe, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Z land right now, yeah. But because he ran across my mind very briefly, and I was like, the only reason Midoriya would probably make a podcast is if somebody else told him to do it. He has like so many other things going on that he'd probably only do it if it was like a school project or somebody else decided to come up with the idea and wanted him to be in on it.
Right.
I feel like the only person I could like see making a podcast would be like, what's his face in La Brava?
Oh, Gentle Criminal.
Yeah.
Gentle and La Brava from My Hero Academia as well. Yeah.
Like, dude, like just make a podcast.
Absolutely.
They do those YouTube videos about doing crime. It's like, dude, just like make a podcast about your life.
100%. Yeah, I can see that. That's pretty good. What about like Jester from Critical Role, with either a traveler podcast or how to bake podcast, or like a YouTube channel. She'd be like,
see, that's the thing is, I don't think she'd have a podcast. I think she'd have a YouTube channel.
She'd have a YouTube channel,
and
she'd be a YouTuber, absolutely.
I think she would teach people how to like draw, or if she was going to have a podcast, she'd have to have a podcast about like reading her smut books.
Oh my god, yeah. Like we're gonna do a book club on Tusk Love, yeah. Because this is where I learn everything about relationships from romance novels, and that clearly is not going to go badly for me. Okay, here's another good one. We're going into D&D territory for this one.
Heck yeah.
Which fictional character, it's any universe, doesn't have to be anything connected to D&D.
Okay.
Which fictional character is most likely to be the forever DM for their regular home game every week? Who's the one who's always the DM?
Gonna be the DM.
Yep, always the DM. Rarely get to play characters, because every time everyone wants to do a campaign, they're like, "Oh, I'll run it." They can't even control themselves. They can't stop it. They're like, "I have to run it."
Probably Deku.
Deku?
He's a master on gathering information, and he's like that one friend that always that's exactly the same thing with the podcast. Like, if you're like, "Oh, do you want to do the podcast?" You'd be like, "Oh, I guess I could do the podcast," and then you'd probably like plan the whole fucking thing himself.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, people would be like, "Oh, do you want to play D&D?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I'll just figure out all the information that I possibly can on it, make sure I know how to run it, and then I'll run it forever."
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I bet you Pearl from Steven Universe would be the forever DM. Like, she'd be like, "Oh, I could learn the rules of this game," and then she like spends like the next 3 weeks just like memorizing every single letter and punctuation mark in all 3 of the core rulebooks, and she's like, "I think I've developed a way to sufficiently tell a well choreographed story," and like she'd just be on it.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. And Steven would be like, "Cool, I don't have to be in charge."
Yes, I feel like she would be.
Yeah, Pearl would be the forever DM. That's perfect. Okay, cool. That's an easy one. Another D&D one. Which fictional character, and this can be anybody, you can pick multiples for this.
Okay.
Who always plays the same class in every campaign, and what is the class?
God, I wish I could like branch my mind out to different things, but now I'm stuck on these 3.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that I feel like we get stuck in it.
Because I wanted to say Amethyst, and she would just be a barbarian for everything.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Just because
that's a good one.
She can just smash, so that's what she would just do. And if Pearl was like gonna be anything, she would just be a cleric every single time, like a lawful cleric every time.
Oh yeah. Steven would either be a bard or a paladin every single time.
No, I feel like Steven would probably change it. He'd be like, "Oh, this time I want to be a ranger. Oh, this time I want to be..."
Oh yeah, like he might be indecisive. He'd be like, "I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this."
Yeah, he'd like want to try everything.
That's fair. I think he just like fits that archetype, I guess. But, yeah, let's see, like who else do we think would get like stuck in a role? Like, do we know anybody who who would always play a wizard?
Who would always play a wizard?
Yeah, like who would always play a wizard? Anybody who would always play a wizard?
No.
Zuko would always play a warlock.
Would he?
Yeah, in like every campaign.
I don't know.
Zuko, yeah, he would.
I don't know if he'd want to be a warlock.
He'd play a warlock. He's an edgelord.
He'd probably be a rogue.
Oh, maybe he'd be okay. Yeah, I could see rogue.
I can't see him making a pact with a deity or anything like that.
And then having to like break it and like persevere. And,
no, he'd just be a rogue.
He'd be a rogue. Okay, I could see rogue. I'll submit to rogue on that one.
Maybe Katara the wizard.
Katara would be a wizard. Yeah, I feel like Katara would be a cleric.
Maybe.
Yeah, I feel like she'd like want to be like the healer. She's like a mom friend. She's
right, but she also likes to do a lot of like crazy water bending. She doesn't like to just be the healer.
Yeah, you can just like prepare.
She literally had a whole arc on that.
Yeah, that's true.
She'd probably like multi-class wizard cleric.
I can see that. I feel like clerics can control more water than maybe druid maybe. And wizards don't get a lot of water magic.
Well, I'm not saying she in particular do water magic. I was saying if she could do D&D, she might want to do a bunch of like spells for fighting.
That's a good point. Okay. I've got one more good one.
Okay.
Which fictional character is most likely to get arrested for punching a cop? There are a number of characters that I think would fit this bill. Who's most likely to get arrested for punching a cop?
Oh, God, like almost anybody.
Like most characters, yeah.
Like most people.
I don't think Aang would.
No. Because Aang probably wouldn't actually punch the cop.
Yeah.
He just pushed the cop.
That's true. Toph would. 100%.
Toph would 110% punch 12 cops.
Yeah. She'd march to the precinct and be like, I whooped one guy's ass
but
up
then
here
she
for the
became a
rest.
cop.
What happened to her?
I don't know. Motherhood.
Fucked her right up. Oh, Toph.
She
love you so much. Why did you become a cop? That's
she thought it'd be
out
cool
of character for you.
No, she just thought it'd be cool to have her own like army of metal benders. She made a school.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is like it started off as like I'm gonna like I'll run the show and these guys will be cool, and then slowly but surely because they were in a city they turned into a police force, and she's like, huh.
Yeah, like you can tell the way she acts in it. She doesn't enjoy being a cop.
Yeah, like it just kind of like it morphed from something she had control over to something she really didn't, and all of a sudden she's like, oh,
she was already there.
Fuck.
Well, that's why she stopped being a cop and she went out and lived in the swamp.
That's true.
But who else? Amethyst would definitely punch a cop.
Oh yeah, no question.
Goku probably wouldn't punch a cop on purpose.
Yeah, Goku wouldn't do it on purpose. Vegeta would do it.
Vegeta would.
Bakugo, 100%.
Oh yeah, Bakugo would punch cops.
Yeah, no question. Bakugo would get arrested because a cop was trying to like hold him back from something, and he'd just be like, "No," just slap him.
That's why you gotta be a hero, so you can just punch cops.
Yeah, then you don't get shot for it. Oof.
You just have to be white, and then you don't get shot.
Yeah. Oof. Real though. Okay.
Next one.
This time we're moving on to our final little subcategory.
Mm-hmm.
This one is who's your favorite?
Okay.
I have about, I think 9 of them. Maybe I have 10. I have 10. I name a thing.
Okay.
You tell me who you think your favorite character who fits that qualification is.
Okay.
And then a little bit why. And then I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
Who is your favorite fictional dragon?
What is your favorite
Wizard swear?
Who's my favorite fictional dragon?
Fictional dragon, yes. Tell me a little bit why. From anything. Any dragon from anywhere.
God, that's tough. There's so many dragons, and I know I'm not thinking of them all, and I'm going to say one dragon, and then I'm not going to remember.
See, I was like, oh, it's got to be Smaug.
No.
Because like Smaug, I like Smaug. The thing about Smaug is that he's such a classic like archetypal fantasy dragon, which like you don't really see that like depicted. Like I'm specifically referring to like the Hobbit movies Smaug. Like I like Smaug in general, but like you don't really see any more that like classic dragon trope of like I sit on a pile of gold and think I'm hot shit. Dragons are like so nuanced and different now because everyone's putting their own twist on them in different like mediums that I feel like it's nice sometimes to just kind of like go back to like a classic old like fantasy novel dragon, which like it makes sense because like that's kind of like Tolkien kind of did that, but
right.
But I think like I don't think I actually would pick him as my favorite because like as much as I like to see like that really traditional old style dragon, I don't think he's really all that interesting. Mm-hmm. I honestly think my favorite fictional dragon is Bahamut from Dungeons and Dragons lore.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's like this big like there's so much lore about Bahamut that like we never dove into our campaign that I think is so cool about him. Like, I also really like Tiamat, but, like, I'm not as much of, like, a sucker for, like, the, like, unashamedly evil characters.
Right.
Bahamut is, like, he's, like, this champion of justice, this beacon of good, but he, like, sometimes like manifests himself on the material plane back when he could as like an old shepherd in the woods, and he like finds people who like need help with something. He like guides them along the right path. Like I don't know, he's like I always imagine him as like this like paladin-y champion of justice, but also like this kind of like comfy like scarf wearing librarian nerdy type guy, and like I kind of dig that as like the dragon shapeshifter archetype, and like him as a god. I don't know, I just think he's cool. There's also like Final Fantasy Bahamut, but he's just kind of like a big dude with laser beams. Like he's whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Do you have a good dragon? I see you laughing like intensely. So
well, because I was definitely like hearing what you were saying about Bahamut.
yeah.
But I took this chance to try and not get blindsided by forgetting good dragons and looked up a master list of dragons in media.
Yeah.
And God, I found one of the dragons from, or a dragon from Rick and Morty.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
His name's Blathramaw.
Okay.
And whew.
What's his deal? I don't know anything about.
I kind of like him, but it's also kind of a weird episode because
sure,
Morty wants a dragon really, really bad.
Okay. Which is always a good start.
Yes, which is a great start. He's bugging Rick that he wants a dragon, he wants a dragon, he wants a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And so eventually he gets annoyed and he's like, fine, well, let's go to the fantasy world where you can get a fucking dragon. And so they go.
As one does.
As one does. And so they went to the fantasy world and they got a wizard to bind a dragon to Morty.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen this episode in a really long time, but there's something like they get like connected, so like their life forces are like connected and like
sure.
But
they are bound to each other.
The dragon's an asshole and he doesn't like Morty because he's like a little wimp, and like
right.
The dragon ends up bonding with Rick.
Oh no, because they're both shitheads.
Because they're both assholes.
Oh, good.
And so like Morty doesn't know where the dragon is, and he like calls Rick, who's like flying on the dragon. He's like, "You're out there with my dragon! Like, what are you doing? It's my dragon!" And so he gets pissed, and he like sends the dragon back to where he came from, and God, it's a long story. I'm not gonna talk about the rest of it because I think they end up like him and the dragon like go through like a mating bond, but they don't actually do anything that weird.
Right,
other than,
it's like classic Rick and Morty style.
Yeah,
like edge of weirdness at all times.
They like go through like this electrical they're like, oh, we're bonding. Oh my
god.
God.
Kind of like fucking like James Cameron's Avatar, like the blue people with the fucking weird tentacles. Much. Yeah,
and the dragon gets like shamed for being a slut dragon because he like had 2 masters now or something like that.
Oh,
it's stupid.
God.
But the dragon's actually pretty neat. That's probably not my favorite dragon.
But he's a dragon.
He was a dragon I knew that I forgot about.
He's on a master list of dragons.
Yeah. God, I don't know. Like Dragon Tales. There's like dragons I don't even know about. Like there was dragons in fucking the Backyardigans.
What?
Yeah, I guess there's dragons.
I don't know if those really hit anybody's favorites.
No,
except for like toddlers. Like toddlers, like that dragon's that's the shit.
They're not my favorite.
That's the number one dragon right there. Is there a dragon in Peppa Pig?
I don't think so.
I would love that.
I'm just gonna go with.
Need there to be a dragon. If the creators of Peppa Pig are watching this podcast, please put a dragon in Peppa Pig. Send me an email about it. I will watch that episode. I will, like, if you got a Patreon, I got you. Like, I will send some money your way. Just put a dragon in Peppa Pig.
I think I'll just go with the ones that I initially thought of when you asked me the question, and go with Rin and Shaw from Avatar.
Oh, the dancing dragons.
Yeah, because they're fucking cool.
And they just kind of come out of like.
They come out of those holes, and they're supposed to. Their holes. They come out of their cave, and they're supposed to like dub people worthy. And if they don't, they eat them. And if they do think that they're worthy, they like show them this magical rainbow-colored fire that unlocks the power of firebending.
There's just so much like cool like Avatar world, like mythos and mysticism and lore behind those dragons, and I can totally see why they're fascinating.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I feel like
I forgot their names. I didn't write them down because I forgot that they were like named characters. But yeah, you're probably right. Those are great.
I was gonna try and go over your head and name a dragon-type Pokemon, but
That would count. That's a dragon.
yeah, but all the dragons,
My
they
favorite
literally
dragon is Salamence.
well, they literally had Pokemon on here, and they were as the dragon on Pokemon. They just said many dragon-type Pokemon. So I was like, cool. I'm not finding a fucking dragon mega list of Pokemon.
That's not what I'm looking for here. All right, I respect that.
But yeah, Rin and Shaw, I think.
That's pretty good. I respect that. That's a good choice. I didn't know they were named. I would have picked. I might have put them on my list in some consideration. Who is your favorite?
Wizard Swear.
Not Wizard Swear this time. Rogue.
My favorite rogue?
Your favorite rogue. Someone who would qualify as a rogue.
Rowan.
Your D&D character's brother
is my favorite rogue.
Is your favorite rogue? All right, that's fine. Why is Rowan your favorite rogue?
Because he's really funny. He's really creative. Like, he solves problems in ways I never would think of. He's like, he's the only rogue I've ever met that's the magic user rogue.
The arcane trickster?
Yeah, he's an arcane trickster.
Yeah.
He's the only rogue I know of that is one.
Is it not an arcane trickster?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean,
I can cast message.
I thought that was just because she was taking weird feats because she's friends with Caleb. I didn't know if she was an arcane trickster or not.
I think she's an arcane trickster. I mean, I'm not far enough in Critical to know. I'm on episode 20. I don't know if she's ever going to cast second level spells, but she's cast Silent Image, Disguise Self, Shocking Grasp, and Message, which either means she took Magic Initiate twice, or she has too many spells and must be an arcane trickster. Yeah.
Either way, I think Rowan's my favorite rogue.
I respect that. That's a good call. No one's going to know who that is, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care if you know who he is. He's my D&D character's brother. If you listen to our last podcast, he was mentioned twice.
Yes. Rowan is very cool. I 100% agree with you.
He wanted to get into a fight with somebody because he spells Rowan Rowan, and he met a different guy that was a druid named Rowan. That's
Rowen?
Noah Roan.
Oh, Rowan.
And so he wanted to get into a competition with that
Rowan. Who
Rowan.
gets to keep the name?
No, not who gets to keep the name. He got into a competition with that Rowan because he thinks his name is spelled stupid because it's not spelled the same way his is. It's missing the W.
Oh my god.
So he was like, if I win the competition, then you have to add a W to, to your name, and if I lose, then you don't.
Oh my! And that's it. It wasn't it wasn't like I'll take the W out of mine. It's just you don't have to.
Yeah.
What why would anyone take that bet? It's you only can lose. You either are fine or you lose.
Right. I think.
But he's like, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, he's like, that's as far as I'm willing to go, but you have to accept it because your name's dumb.
That's cheeky. I respect that. I feel like the iconic archetype of rogue. I thought about I like Han Solo, but not that much. Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. She's a really cool rogue. She especially in the seasons you haven't seen yet, she pulls off some pretty cool shit. But honestly, I'm gonna go real PlayStation 2 game retro. I love me some Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper, that sneaky raccoon with the cane.
See, we didn't play Sly Cooper as a kid.
I love Sly Cooper.
I knew about Sly Cooper, but
favorite platform. I skipped over. I played a little bit of Ratchet and Clank, but I didn't play a lot after the third game. Completely skipped Jak and Daxter. I was I don't care. Whatever.
We didn't play any of those games.
Oh really?
I was just
everyone I knew either played Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, or Jak and Daxter.
I was just gonna say there's always those games when you're young that you play one or the other.
Yeah, definitely.
And we didn't play any of those. I think we spent all of that time playing Kingdom Hearts or something.
Yeah, respect. That's what I was doing once I was done playing Sly Cooper.
Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. We played Dragon Quest.
Mm-hmm. I always played Final Fantasy.
I don't know. I think it was supposed to be Crash or Spyro. We played both of those though.
Oh yeah. See, I played Spyro. I never really played a lot of Crash Bandicoot.
We played all sorts of Crash Bandicoot.
Dang. Yeah, that wasn't. I used to not even know that Spyro and Crash were the opposite because when I first got my PlayStation 2, me and my brothers were pretty young. My parents bought us 2 games for the PlayStation. They're that's it. It's all you have until you save up enough allowance money that you can buy more. And they bought us fucking. They bought us the first Crash Bandicoot game that came out on the PS2. So we had that one. And then the other one was like, it was like a 3D action platformer Frogger game.
Oh.
And it was like Frogger, but he had like overalls, and like it was really bad. But I was always just like, oh, like Crash and Frogger, like those are the two games. You played one or the other because those are the two games I had. And then I like discovered Spyro, and I was like, oh, well, what the fuck? Like, why didn't I get this cool dragon game?
Did you ever play Croc?
I did play Croc.
Did you play Croc?
Yeah.
Like, no
PS1,
one I know played Croc.
Because, yeah, it was one of the few games we had. We had Croc, we had the Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace video game, we had Jurassic Park, and Final Fantasy VII. That was all I owned.
What class do you think Croc is?
What class is
Croc?
Yeah,
like at a D&D classes, what do you think Croc is?
I don't know. Is he like an artificer?
I don't know. He wears a little backpack, and all I know is he spins in circles and hits guys with his tails and goes, woohoo!
No, I'm thinking. Wait, I'm stupid. No, I played Croc, but I for some reason I thought of Gex. Gex is he's like the spy.
Oh, Gex.
Yeah, no,
but he's can of whoopers.
He's an artificer. I don't know. Croc is he's like a fighter. He's just he hits stuff. That's all he does. He doesn't wear armor. He's he likes animals. He's a ranger. Croc's a ranger.
Yay.
Yeah, he likes animals. He wants to protect the animals. You know who else is a ranger? Sonic the Hedgehog.
Is he?
Yeah, he wants to protect the animals, and I don't know. Sonic's a ranger.
I never knew Sonic to want to protect animals. I only knew...
Yeah, that's the whole point of Sonic the Hedgehog 1 through 3, the non-3D games.
The only thing
Eggman keeps all the animals inside of those big capsules, and when he beats the Eggman boss at the end, he hits the capsule and it breaks open, and all the animals jump out because Eggman wants to turn the animals into robots.
The only thing I ever knew about
Sonic's a druid.
Sonic was that he wants to go fast.
Yeah, Sonic is a ranger who only wants to take the mobile feat instead of.
And that sometimes people draw pictures of him and Shadow kissing.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that on this podcast. This is a family-friendly, God-fearing podcast, and we don't. It's not. And
I don't know about any of that.
All right, well, then maybe we'll just throw up a picture of Sonic.
We're
not doing that. Don't you dare comment about that. I swear to God.
No pictures of them in the comments.
Yeah, I will throw up in your mailbox.
It's like when you try to look up Shadow in Sonic X.
Yes, Sonic X Shadow. And it's I want to see Shadow from the hit TV series on Foxbox, Sonic X. And you just get some, shit.
You grow up too fast.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. Google never lies. Okay, so that was Rogues. Who is your favorite fictional wizard?
My favorite fictional wizard?
Yeah, now you see you didn't do the wizard swear thing this time. I had a whole thing. I was going to segue into it, but that's fine. Favorite wizard?
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't like wizards.
I don't really care about wizards.
That's because you're too variety is not the spice of life for you. You're
that is not why I don't like wizards.
Whatever.
Reading 50 books and needing to spend $1,000 on paper for anything other than drawing is not
which are really cool, and you should give more credit. Because wizards are neat and they're fun.
Wizards are boring.
No.
Wizards are awful people.
Wizards are lovely. How dare you disrespect my favorite?
Wizards are just weak people that wanted to get so strong that they never have to do anything again. And then
Books
they don't.
Can make you powerful too. You don't have to be a beefcake beefinston.
I never said I wanted to be a beefcake either.
That's fair.
Let's see.
My favorite wizard is probably Caleb Widogast.
Well, I was going to say the same thing, but I don't want to go with Caleb.
I feel because that's the most common, for anyone who's a big fan of D&D and Critical Role, I feel that's just the easiest answer because Caleb's such an archetypal wizard, but with a cool flavor and twist to his whole arc, which I haven't gotten a lot into because again I'm only 20 episodes into fucking 105, 106 episodes. That Critical Role Campaign 2 has, but I don't know. I just he's like a grungy, homeless, sad wizard who gets really excited when he makes 100 gold and he can buy a new spell, and he's like, oh, I get to read my book and I get to write in my journal all day. Man, I get it.
Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna cheat. 1 second.
You're gonna cheat. How can you cheat? A wizard's a wizard. You know what a wizard is.
My favorite wizard
Yeah.
is Huntress Wizard from Adventure Time.
Oh, see, I haven't watched enough Adventure Time to know who that is. Who's Huntress?
She is
Tell me about
awesome.
her. Tell me all about her.
Huntress Wizard, she's basically a ranger. That's a wizard.
What? Okay, hold on. That's what you mean by cheating. Okay, I allow this because she's a wizard.
She's a wizard. Let's see.
But carry on with your loopholes.
She first shows up in the wizard battle that they have in the episode Wizard Battle.
Where they have a wizard battle?
They have a wizard battle.
Dope. I should watch Adventure Time.
You should. It's really good.
Yeah, it's on there. Don't worry.
Let's see. They also have a wizard city where she's seen hanging out.
Doing wizard battles in the wizard city. With the wizards.
With the wizards. Where is she? Her main spell is enchanting arrows and doing a flute spell that like calls animals.
That's kind of dope. I feel like also she just like wins on the sheer principle of the fact that like you said wizard so many times.
Yeah, that's
in describing her. Oh yeah, she seems like exactly the kind of character that you would 100% love. Like she's like green, she has leaves for hair, she's got like twigs that are also antlers. Like yeah, she's
got like a quiver of arrows and a cloak. And
she's basically just a druid.
Yeah, she's like a druid wizard. She dates Finn very briefly.
Spoilers.
Oh, I guess it's a spoiler. We already said spoilers in the beginning.
It's literally, well, yeah, but spoilers for me. I haven't watched much of it. It's fine. I'll get over it. I'll just cry myself to sleep. Yeah, she seems cool. I like her. I'm interested to learn more about her because I always like a good wizard, and she seems like a pretty neat wizard.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. Moving on to our next topic.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your favorite? And I know this one's
Wizards
No, we just did the Wizards first. I know this one's extra special for you because you've told me in the past that you don't really care much for this archetype of characters.
Okay.
Who is your favorite?
Is it wizards again?
Nope. That we already passed that one. I should have said that for that one too. Who is your favorite main character?
Your favorite main character?
You've told me in the past that you don't really care that much for the main characters. It's usually the side characters that get you.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. Like, of any series we watch, which main character do you think is the one you like the most?
No, I don't know. Which main character do I like the most?
Mm-hmm. Mine is definitely Midoriya from My Hero Academia.
Oh, I don't care that much
I love Deku.
Out of My Hero Academia, Kirishima's my favorite.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is it like that's another example of like for me, I'm just like he's like I don't. That's the thing. I don't think he's my favorite character in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is my favorite main character of all of the main characters of the shows that I watch and enjoy. I find his story to be the most compelling, but that's just because all the character writing on My Hero Academia is so fucking good.
My favorite main character.
Yeah.
God, it's hard because I'm trying to think of all the shows that I know.
Sure.
To figure out which one's my actual favorite.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like Sagwa, like
Sagwa? Oh, like the
cat?
The cat, yeah.
That's not actually my answer.
That was on PBS Kids. I remember when I was a wee lad.
I love Sagwa.
So watch me some Sagwa. It was on before Caillou, which is also a funny way of saying it was
Least
on before I
character.
turned the TV off. Because fuck Caillou.
Like, I want to say...
You can quote me on that. Kid sucks.
Like, my favorite set of main characters is, like, Rick and Morty, because they're good, but I also don't want to be that douchebag that's like, I love Rick and Morty.
I mean, you can be that, like, that's just more for, like, people who are like, I see myself in Rick. It's like, the whole point is you're not supposed to do that. He's awful. He is an interestingly written character because, like, he sucks a lot. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, not to mention, also, like, you're not, like, more like
yeah,
Rick. No one is like
yeah,
Rick.
Stop. Like, no one, that's...
Every neckbeard is like, I'm Rick. And it's like, you're not.
Yeah, you're not, and you won't be. So please stop.
It's so hard. I'll probably end up going with them just because they're probably some of the only main characters that really just like keep me captivated, and because none of the side characters really have enough time on screen before
Sure.
they die painfully, or
Right.
or they switch universes.
Fair. Okay. Rick and Morty then. So then who's your least favorite main
My
character?
least favorite main character? Caillou.
You don't watch Caillou.
No, but I hate Caillou.
That's a very valid opinion. All right, then my answer is Caillou. Fuck the other two answers I had. That's
No, I'll think of
absolutely
something serious. I am serious about hating Caillou, but I'll think of something.
Can
that
we
I
both
actually
agree?
watch.
Here's a series that we've watched very recently. Can we both agree that Ayumu from Japan Sinks 2020 is just insufferable?
Yes, I hate
She's
Ayumu.
awful.
I hate Ayumu.
She just complains the whole time.
Can I change my favorite character in a series to Kite?
Yes.
I love Kite.
Kite from Japan Sinks 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
10 times of a better answer. Like, I love Kite.
That's the thing. He's not the main character, though.
He's one of the main characters.
Yeah, but, like, really Ayumu's the main character. It follows her the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate her.
Yeah, she's awful.
Literally?
Yeah.
We watched it twice.
Yeah, because we watched it with Brandon, with your brother, a second time.
And it's called Japan Sinks 2020.
It's really good. It's fairly short. You can finish it in 4.5 hours. And it's if you are afraid of natural disasters, maybe don't watch it because it will fuck you right up.
But me and Ken watched it in the first run through. No one's going to understand this unless they know about our second campaign. So this is technically just a shout out for Kyle.
Yes, there you go.
But we watched it and we literally were both like, it's basically taking all the worst parts of Noir's character and Ivy's character and putting them into one girl.
Yes.
And it's awful to watch.
Absolutely. Like,
she's lawful, awful.
Yeah, she like incessant need to follow the rules.
Bitchy.
And like also like insufferably angry and blames everybody else for her problems all the time and refuses to seek help for even the simplest problem that could be solved in like 5 seconds.
With some Neosporin.
Yeah, literally like I don't want to spoil too much because like it's a recent show and not a lot of people got a chance to watch it, but like she gets her leg cut very early in the show. And the whole time you're going to be like, girl, put some Neosporin on that cut. And there's going to be like 8 or 9 times where you're like, there's probably some Neosporin like right where you are. You should probably put that on that cut. And it's up to you to find out whether or not she solves that problem for herself. I'm going to give you a hint. No, she's real stupid. She drives me nuts. But honestly, like, before that, because that's fairly recent, and she's probably like fresh in my mind, like, honestly, probably Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Is your least favorite main character?
Yeah, he's just like
dumb.
He's just kind of dumb. Yeah, like
he's literally
the
kind
other
of character. Eat a book.
Yeah, like the other, like the thing is, like he's not like necessarily even bad. He's just fine, and the other characters are way more interesting. Like games where you get to play as someone other than Sora, I'm always like, ooh, like this is fun. Yeah. Because he's just fine. Like, I love the mechanics of Kingdom Hearts. I love, like, flying around and, like, swinging your sword all fancy and, like, doing cool stuff. Mm-hmm. That's why I love Kingdom Hearts. Sora's, like, aggressively mediocre. That's probably my answer.
I literally started doing that thing that Sungwon did.
Sungwon Cho, yeah.
Making fun of him, where he's like, do you think the light will beat the darkness? No, I think the darkness will beat the light.
Kingdom Hearts dialogue. Just just mute your game and play it, and you're gonna be happy. Like, I love Kingdom Hearts so much. I'm like playing through the whole series right now. I'm like, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to do so. But like, God, the dialogue is so fucking bad in that game. It's a good time. We're having a good time. Okay. So that one's done.
Okay.
Who is your favorite edgelord?
My favorite edgelord?
Favorite edgelord.
Gorin.
Gorin?
From our D&D campaign.
He's not an edgelord.
I'm kidding.
Gorin's not an edgelord. Just because he's a dark elf, that means he's an edgelord? He's
no.
Edgy. Yeah.
He pretends not to care about anybody.
Jorlin, you mean?
Yeah, Gorin.
Gorin is... So, yeah, the Gorin is, for those of you who listened to our last podcast, Gorin is Callista's husband. his nephew
is the one I was talking about.
a one-eyed, scarred drow from the Underdark who pretends that he doesn't care about anyone. He's like I'm a lone wolf. I fight for myself, and he's always just like pokes out during other people's watch. He's like, oh, okay, and he like
Everything's fine.
Yeah, he like pretends, but he's like always checking on people, and he's like always like trying to be close to people, but he's like, I don't care about any of you. Like life is pain.
Yeah, he's like, I hate
but he's actually
all
just a
of
big
you.
fucking soft
You all
baby.
suck. And then he talks to Noir and he's like, I care about you though, but also I don't.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm not gonna pick him though because no one knows him.
That's fair.
Who's my favorite edgelord? God, it's tough.
I know mine is.
Tell me yours.
And this is specifically in the later half of the game. But Dimitri from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Mm-hmm. That boy has seen some shit. The PTSD is strong with this one. But God, I love him. He's such a compelling broken character, and like the whole time I'm just like, I want to fix you, but also you're a massive pain in my ass because you won't solve your own problems. And just like that dichotomy, I'm prone to just being like, I want to protect you, my sweet baby boy. When in reality, it's like he's kind of like he's his own special brand of fuck up.
Right.
But like, God, I'm such a sucker for that archetype.
Edgelords.
Yeah, I really do like edgelords a lot.
That's the thing is, I can't even really think of one.
Yeah, I don't even know if I don't really think I don't know if Zuko counts as an edgelord.
I mean, a little bit.
I think he was. Yeah, but I don't think he really is as much of an edgelord by the end of Last Airbender. Riku from Kingdom Hearts is kind of an edgelord.
I was thinking about Riku.
Yeah.
But I was like, is he my favorite? I mean, probably.
I like him a lot. I played him, like, the thing is that, like, I played that fucking Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, the, like, card battle game, and you were watching me play that one. And, like, God, that card battle game, like, fuck. Like, what a slog. But then I got to play Riku's story, and I'm just like, you know what? There's like almost no plot here, and I still like him so much better than Sora. Like I actually want to finish this game.
I'd probably go Riku or Axel from Kingdom Hearts.
Axel, you know what? Yeah, he's an edgelord. He counts.
Yeah, I like them.
I like Axel a lot. Yeah, I actually agree. I think I might like Axel a little bit better, but he only wins out for Riku if he becomes playable, which I don't know because I've never played Kingdom Hearts 3, so I don't know if you actually can play as Axel.
You just need a Riku Axel game.
That would be fucking dope. Let's make that happen. You better be listening to our podcast, Disney.
Yeah.
Oh, shush, Percy.
Don't mind the cat meowing.
Yeah, welcome back.
He's our secret third podcaster.
Yeah, he's our guest star in almost every episode now. What else do I have for fun ones? Probably only have time for a few more. Let's find some good ones. Oh, who's your favorite Wise Old Elder? Iroh. Let's just talk about how great Iroh is.
Well, nobody beats Iroh.
I don't know. I like Gran Torino. Not more than Iroh, but I do like Gran Torino from My Hero Academia. He's cool.
If you put the two next to each other, I would shove him in
There's
the
no
ocean.
chance. Yeah, like he doesn't hold a candle to the wind, but yeah, I mean it's like that was the easiest one. Like it's Iroh.
Like if you put Raffi and Iroh, the wise old elders, on a cliff, Raffi doesn't even hold a candle to Iroh.
Yeah, like he's like your D&D character that you like cherished and loved over the course of many years, and you're just like Iroh.
Yeah, Iroh is just the best.
Yeah.
He literally has words of wisdom for everything.
Yeah, an unquestionably lovable character.
He literally just loves the simplest things in life that make him the happiest.
He just wants to own a tea shop and retire and just live his life.
Serve Earth King tea and
yeah. Oh, what a beautiful man. Non-toxic masculinity. There it is. Absolutely.
He was doing Avatar shit before even the Avatar could grab
it. Learning how to like make cool new firebending techniques from the waterbenders. Like, what a boss.
Literally his opposite element.
Yeah, if that man was the Avatar, he would be unstoppable. Mm-hmm. Like, Ozai would be fucking toast. Like, no question.
Not to mention he's already incredibly skilled and really doesn't pull it out unless he really needs to. Like, he's smart, he's strong, like, My dude.
Yeah, no, and this is an Iroh Stan account now.
Yes.
Like this podcast.
All our podcasts are now about Iroh.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk about why Iroh is the best character in all of like modern fictional history. No questions. All right, yeah, we're doing that now. Look forward to that for our next podcast episode. Okay. Anyway, back to what we were actually. Back to Iroh. Who is? I got two more good ones. Okay. Two more good ones. I think I want to do. Who is your favorite badass normal?
Badass normal.
The badass normal trope. It is basically like it's the character that pals around with the main group, and they definitely don't have the same powers and skills and talents as the rest of the team, but like they're a lovable character, or like like they have some elements to them that make them stand like on their own, despite not being able to keep up with the rest of the group.
That's the thing is, I want to say Sokka, but he definitely can stand his own with the rest of the group.
Yeah, but I think he still falls under the badass normal trope. Like he's the only one in that group that doesn't have magical elemental powers. Mm-hmm. He's just a dude with weapons. But like he manages to make a lot of that.
He can stand his own like nobody's fucking business.
Yeah.
So probably Sokka.
Yeah, I think Sokka is one of my favorites as well. I do also really like Yamcha from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, Yamcha.
Yeah.
The thing is, Yamcha was actually like one of my first crushes when I was little.
Yeah, I remember that story. That's fun.
For the longest time when I was little, I actually didn't have crushes on like human beings.
Sure.
I only had crushes on people in cartoons.
Right, because you watch a lot of cartoons.
Yeah, first one was Gohan, the second one was Yamcha.
Aw, that's so cute.
Because I watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z as like a 6-year-old girl. So like I love Yamcha, but also like the thing is that he's a badass normal, but he really can't stand on par with them like at all. I guess that's part of the trope.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like that's the thing is like he just kind of like he realized he couldn't keep up with the rest of them after like
he also dies
a couple times.
All the time.
Yeah. Well, that was part of it. Is like he died so many times, and he's just like, okay,
I just want to play baseball.
I really think I just need to play baseball and like stop trying to like be a superhero because like I'm not really a superhero. He got strong as fuck though.
And as much as I love Yamcha, I think my favorite badass normal from Dragon Ball Z is Krillin.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. That's a good point. Yeah, I like Krillin a lot too. Fuck.
Like he's really strong. He's like one of the strongest humans on Earth.
Yeah.
So much that they
at a point there's like debate in the Dragon Ball fan community, but like at a couple points in the series, he like was definitively the strongest human on Earth.
Like he's so strong that in Super they asked him to be part of the fucking like tournament.
Yeah.
Isn't he like one of the only humans in that tournament?
Well, Roshi.
Well, other than Roshi.
Yeah. But Roshi
trained Krillin.
Yeah, Roshi trained Krillin, and also like Roshi was useful for like his techniques because like you're not supposed to kill. So they're like, oh yeah, like he can't hold his own with the rest of them, but he's got like super cool powers that other people don't know how to use. So like he was useful there. But like yeah, I think like because like Gohan's half Saiyan, Goku, Vegeta, Frieza,
Alien.
Tien was on the team, but he's not a he's not a full-blooded human. He's like a Cyclops or something. Frieza. Fucking there was Krillin, and who the hell else was on Master Roshi? There were two other people. Oh, Piccolo? The androids. Oh, Piccolo was on there, and then the androids who are not humans. Yeah, there's literally Krillin and Master Roshi.
Did 18 not go? Wasn't it only 17?
No, 17 and 18 were both on
okay.
there. Yeah, remember she's the one that kicked Ribrianne out.
Hey,
yeah.
My girl.
Yeah.
I just remember 17 like having this like huge thing with him being there because we don't see that much of 17, so I was more focused on him.
100%. He's the best character in Dragon Ball Z. I love Android 17 so much.
He's a ranger.
He became like that's the thing. He he was already one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z, and then they came back from like a huge time skip, and he's like, I'm a ranger now. Like I'm literally a park ranger. I hang out with animals, and I like want to go on a boat ride with my family, like my wife and my like 4 adopted kids. I'm like king shit. Like
I did not expect him to go there, but he did, and I love him for it.
Yeah, no, 17's the best Dragon Ball Z character. It's not close. All like every other character in Dragon Ball Z, like all fanboys can come into the comments and be like, oh, here's why I like Goku, here's why I like Vegeta. That's fine, whatever. Android 17, best character in Dragon Ball Z. You can quote me on that. It's not close. Anyway. Yeah, I probably got time for like one more good one.
Okay.
This one is because like thankfully, there are so many great characters that like are good characters on their own and also represent this trope in a really meaningful way. It's not really a trope; it's like a thing.
Okay.
But like
Tropes are things.
well, yeah, sure, but like you'll understand why I don't want to use trope for this in a second when I explain it. But like there are so many characters that fit this category nowadays that like you wouldn't see in the past, and like it's super important to have these characters represented and their stories represented.
Okay.
So who is your favorite? Or just a list of your favorite LGBTQ character.
Hey.
There's so many. I was like literally thinking I'm like I can get every letter in that acronym of like characters that I'm like God I fucking love them.
See, that's the thing though too. Is the first one that I thought about is, I guess, is technically not LGBTQ, but kind of. He's a cross-dresser. He's like,
oh okay,
he's straight, but he dresses in women's clothing like very convincingly. It's a, I can't actually remember
who
his
this
name.
is.
I should show you this anime. It's called Princess Jellyfish.
I have heard of it. I've never seen it before.
It's a group of girls who like can't, and so that's the thing is I feel bad putting this in LGBTQ because it's just a bunch of girls that like can't get boyfriends, so they like make a nunnery basically, and
well, this can just be one character. That's okay. Cross-dressers are welcome in the community.
Yeah. The main person's name is Akiko, and she really likes jellyfish.
Hence why
And
she is the
Princess
titular
Jellyfish.
Princess Jellyfish.
And she like runs in, like, she really wants to buy this one jellyfish, and she can't like afford it, I think, or whatever.
Okay.
But she sees that it's like in a tank with a bunch of other jellyfish that it doesn't belong in the tank with, and so she freaks out and she tries to get the guy to like give it to her, but she's like really shy and like reserved.
Okay.
And so then this girl, air quotes, comes in, is like, we're taking the jellyfish and we're not paying for it. And then buys her a bunch of stuff to like set up the jellyfish tank. And then spends the night because they like set it up in her house.
Sure.
And then when they wake up in the morning, the wig like fell off of the dude, and she realizes it's a dude.
Oh, okay.
His name is Koibuchi.
Okay.
He's the son of a political rich family, and he uses an alias Karako in front of other people to hide his gender.
Interesting. Okay.
He enjoys cross-dressing to like spite his family, and because he just likes it.
Cool. Okay. I don't know anything about this character. This is an interesting anime, though.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Huh.
Yeah, like he has a brother who like doesn't really care, but doesn't like it because they're a political family, and he's like, oh, when are you gonna like start getting into politics? He's like, I don't like politics, so he just
I just do my thing.
Yep.
Like I'm just living my life.
And apparently his grandparents love it though, and like they're
okay,
like,
cool.
oh my god, you're so cute,
so supportive. We love supportive grandparents in this house.
But yeah, it's a really good anime. You should definitely go check that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other LGBTQ characters
I have
I really like?
list.
Tell me some of yours.
While you're thinking,
Yeah.
sure. Garnet. Gotta love Garnet. Two lesbians in a trench coat. We love Garnet to death. First, I think like
Bo!
Oh, Beauregard! Yeah, Beauregard from
Critical
Role. Marisha Ray's character for Campaign 2.
And Yasha.
Oh, Yasha is. I see. I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't know. Yeah,
Oof.
I just assumed that Bo was like really into Yasha, and Yasha's just kind of like, okay,
Sorry.
okay, that's fine.
Also Molly Mock.
Oh yeah, well I think like
He's bi.
He's bi, and I think Taliesin has mentioned it like technically like Molly is genderqueer, but like uses he and like doesn't really care that much.
Yeah, they asked him if
pronouns.
he would care about being called a girl or a boy, and he's like, he prefers he, but he doesn't care if you call him anything.
Yeah, like what pronouns you would use. Yeah, regardless of whether it's he, she, they, like anything. Okay. Yeah, because I think like I've seen like fan like forums refer to Molly Mock as genderqueer, and I'm like, oh, okay, neat. But I noticed that they use he on the show a lot.
I think he prefers he. He just doesn't give a crap if you call him a woman or a man or a they or a them.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot of very queer coded characters, I think, in Critical Role, which I appreciate a lot.
Literally every girl in our current campaign in D&D.
I maybe not Kylia, but like the rest of them.
Well, I don't know for Noir either.
Yeah, I don't know for Noir. Noir just like wants friends really bad and is very affectionate. That's kind of it. But definitely like three, like what like so 3 out of 5, so like 60%, I think is that.
Yes.
60% of our party is just like disaster queers. Like we have a sad lesbian who can't solve her own problems to save her life, a very very angry pansexual girl, and a like kind of I mean I'm pretty sure she would describe herself as butch. Blair?
No.
Oh no,
absolutely not.
No, I'm dumb.
Just a raging lesbian.
Yeah, she's just very gay. It's the buzz cut. What I look at her art and I'm like, oh yeah, but then I'm like, no, that's not her.
But she also really likes dressing up in like girly outfits.
That's true.
She just doesn't.
Which is something that she like. Yeah, she doesn't really get a chance to do that very often, which is definitely, which is something that she has gotten to explore in the campaign, which was cool.
Oh, Tiger from My Hero.
Oh right, I forgot that Tiger's trans. That's right. Should we spoil Japan Sinks at all?
If you're gonna watch Japan Sinks,
pay very close attention to the end of Japan Sinks.
Yeah.
There is a trans man in Japan Sinks who is a phenomenal character. Yeah, but definitely him.
Yes.
I forgot that Tiger was trans. That's right.
Magni.
Oh, Magni. Yeah, not enough screen time for her, unfortunately. But
also, like, that's the thing too, is the little screen time like that I've seen her on so far, like, she's like technically one of the villains.
Right.
But like they tell you like parts of her backstory.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, my God.
Yeah, like that's the thing is she's involved in villainy, but she's involved in villainy because her society has failed her.
Mm-hmm.
And like she like is desperately seeking for an outlet for people who will like accept her, and like she found a family with them.
Cora?
I was about to say, oh my God, we're forgetting Cora. And oh my God, I'm Asami. Yeah. Yeah, you literally just said that.
No, I said Ayami by
accident. Oh, okay, that's okay. Cora and Asami for sure. Cora is my absolute favorite disaster bisexual. Oh God, I love Cora. So we can do a whole podcast episode about how much I love Legend of Korra, but yes.
Didn't you watch, what was that one about the big mech boys and then one of them's gay?
Voltron. Yeah. I mean, I love
She-Ra?
Voltron. Oh yeah, well She-Ra, like 90% of the characters in She-Ra are queer. Which I gotta watch She-Ra so bad. Like, and basically anything that Noelle Stevenson makes, I need to consume with my eyes and ears. But I don't know. Maybe I'll eat a comic book. We'll go the full trifecta. But yeah, no, absolutely. She-Ra is on my list of things I need to watch. But yeah, no, my problem with Voltron though is that and for those of you who haven't watched Voltron, skip this part. But the ending, like the last couple of seasons kind of took like besides like canonically confirming that character is gay, they then kind of like took him into this weird chase of like we've kind of been hinting at him getting into a relationship with this other character for the whole time, but actually fuck that, we're not going to do that, and we're going to have him like attached to some rando, and then we're going to kill his ex-boyfriend, and then also he marries someone we've never met off screen for like 5 seconds at the end. And they just kind of like they completely mishandled his whole arc, and like kind of like only revealed that he was a queer character when it became convenient for them to do so. I just didn't like how they handled him by the end.
See, I did a really good.
Yeah, well,
I never watched it. I just knew that.
I like him as a character, but I think that they kind of juggled his arc real bad. And actually, Meredith could go on a whole thing about that because she was pissed.
I could only imagine.
Mm-hmm.
We stand a queen.
Yeah. Oh, Meredith, we love you if you're
We
watching.
stand a shipping queen.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Oh my God, you know who?
She and the Princess of Power. Fucking actual like Catra and what's her face?
Catra Adora. Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
not even a fucking secret. I haven't seen it yet, and I know they're gay.
Yeah. you can just tell. Let's see. I mean, like, plus it's like Noelle Stevenson made it. They're gay, like 100%. Oh my.
I read a book.
Yeah.
By Noelle Stevenson.
Was it Nimona?
Nimona. Yes.
Did she do? Yeah, I think she did. Nimona.
Yes, it was Nimona.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin the end of it, so if you plan on reading Nimona and you're really invested in, I mean, it's just that he's gay. There's, there's a character that she ends up hanging out with, and it's revealed in the end that like the superhero bunny ears and the super villain bunny ears in the book are actually gay and like were together at one point.
Oh, okay.
And I loved that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's. Let's see. Who else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing. Oh, you know what? We don't have enough ace representation. Fucking what's his name? Todd. From BoJack Horseman.
Oh, Todd!
Yeah,
yeah,
he's asexual. Yeah,
is.
Yeah, he's dope. I haven't seen much of BoJack Horseman, but I know he's like super.
The only thing that I'm gonna ruin this for. So if you're watching BoJack Horseman, don't listen to this part. Like pause it for the next.
I've probably already heard this, so it's fine.
Yeah, don't like listen to the next 10 seconds of this. But Todd gets into a really adorable relationship with this bunny woman, and she's also ace. So they're just in a like
cool,
amazing ace relationship.
Cool, just chilling and eating popcorn and like enjoying.
And she's just as silly as he is. So
that's amazing.
They're just happy.
I fucking love that.
It's one of the only like real happy endings to that show.
Yeah, that's perfect. We need more of that.
And Shep from Steven Universe.
Shep, oh my God, yeah. Which also means Sadie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shep's non-binary, and then that means Sadie's queer as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, because Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy have a thing.
Yep.
In like the comics, and then like I think maybe in the show too, because they're like.
Oh, they have a thing.
They have like several things. Yeah, doesn't matter who's writing it. They got things. Good, because fucking get her away from Joker. Like,
yeah, my God.
Gross. Like, yay, we love like horrendously toxic relationships because it's edgy. Like, no, fuck that. Her and Joker are terrible. They don't need to be anywhere near each other. Put her with Poison Ivy and like
just have that be a thing.
Yeah, just like she needs to like an actual like person who doesn't
with feelings and shit. People that like her.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel like we're like for a lot of the shows that we watch, I feel like we've gone through a number of characters. Anyone like important we're missing?
Except for like everyone on Steven Universe.
Except for like literally every character on Steven Universe. So we could spend a million years on that. Stevani.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Pearl. Pearl. Technically Amethyst, I think. Bismuth.
Bismuth for sure. Rose.
Like everybody.
Yeah, absolutely everybody. Absolutely everybody.
Just everybody. Like all those kids that were technically ace that were like Onion's
friends. All of Onion's friends. Yeah. Oh, we love those kids.
You know, the ones that have the names like Sock and like Squash.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's just so many great characters for like young queer kids who are figuring themselves out on Steven Universe, and I love that. I feel like there was one more that was just on the tip of my tongue that I was like, oh my God, this is a character.
Sorry, I knocked it out of your mouth.
It's okay, it's fine. Oh, I mean, like, there's like a million characters that people like speculate about on like My Hero Academia. Like, I don't want to speculate too much because like they're all high school kids.
Well, that and a lot of it's like just a lot of shipping.
Yeah.
Like everyone goes like ship crazy. There's lots of ships sailing to sea.
Yeah. We all just love shipping. That's how people who consume media have taken to consuming media nowadays. It's like you're setting sail one way or another.
I cannot say I'm not on the ship train.
Of course. That's half the fun. Yeah, so that's pretty much all of my categories. Is like a nice
Alright.
little walkthrough of like some of our favorite characters, and now you guys know a lot about the fandoms that me and Hannah are interested in. So if you were listening to the podcast and you want us to talk about some of the things that we watch a little bit more, you want us to go a little bit more in depth about certain like series or fandoms, or even if there's something that you wanted to add on to one of our topics and make a good argument for.
Yeah, argue against us within the first little part about like who's better at what.
Yeah, except for you're not gonna find a single old man who's better than Iroh. So
Nope.
don't try
Don't
it.
even try that.
That is not an invitation in the comments. You are wrong. Nothing personal. Okay, so yeah,
Everything personal.
everything personal. I think that's pretty much that for my topic for today.
All right.
Before we sign off of this podcast episode, do you want to give us a little teaser into what you got for us next week?
Well, I guess it makes sense that we went off the rails on fandoms a little bit on this because mine is spooky.
Oh, we're doing a triple threat of spooky. She's got a theme.
It's not that spooky. It's definitely out of my few spookies. It's gonna be the least spooky.
Okay.
But it's definitely on a different note. We're not going real world this time. We're gonna go with like fandom spooky.
Ooh, all right. That's actually kind of fun. All right. Well, look forward to that. If you were excited about another potentially very spooky podcast, stay tuned for next week. This one's going to be a little less spooky, but maybe that means it'll be a little more whimsical. Maybe I won't spend half of it like on the verge of crying. I promise I don't ham it up. It's he's just
easy to scare.
I just know that ghosts follow her, and I know what I've signed up for, and like I have to be prepared.
I'm really surprised he has no trouble sleeping because he's like, I'm so scared.
Yeah, but that's the
Sleep,
thing is
sleep,
that like
sleep.
nothing like I like if I go while I'm sleeping, I just get to keep sleeping. Like that's fine.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening as always.
Hope you had fun.
Yeah, and we will see you all next time. Thank you all very much.
See you later.
Bye.